Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. My name is Mal and I'm the owner and maker of Made by Manny and Mal. In today's Tumbler tutorial, we are going to be creating a really cute orange themed tumbler design, and we're going to use a brand new template that I created. It is available on my website. It's Wavy Lines. Shocking, but I wanted to show you how to use this template in a really cute and fun, bright, happy, colorful way. You know how we do on this channel. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, make sure you hit the thumbs up button down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are not already. And I will have the full supply list of everything I'm using in this video down below in the description box, along with links to all of my social media pages, including my Facebook group and my exclusive mentorship group, MBMM Elite. Okay, I think that's it. I really hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's go. So jumping right in, we are going to start by prepping and sanding our tumbler. I've got a 20-ounce camper mug here from Craft Haven, and we're going to start by prepping it. I don't show this in every one of my videos, but I do it every time. It's really important to prep your cups properly. So I'm going to sand my cup down with a 60 grit sanding block, just rough that surface up a little bit, wash it with dish soap and water, and then we will be ready to go. We're going to be using some transparent vinyl from BAMF Custom Creations. This is a design by Paint Between Dreams, and we're going to use this super cute matching oranges element sheet. If you go to the BAMF website, you can just search PBD and everything will come up. I will also have everything linked in the description box for you. So with our vinyl, we're going to apply a wavy line template that I created. I did create this template specifically for this size tumbler, so here's my rough sketch. I do sketch out every single one of my tumbler designs, so I have an idea of what I'm doing. I'm very visual and it really helps me, so if you ever need to work something out in your brain, I highly suggest sketching it out. So I'm going to base paint my tumbler using white spray paint. I'm using this Aspen White from Iron Lac. It has really good coverage. So I painted that, let it dry, and then I went in with a coat of epoxy. I mixed into my epoxy some Lovelace from Peachy Olive Glitters. It's a very fine cut white. What we're looking for is really just a soft, subtle sparkle. You're not going to see very much of it underneath this vinyl, but you want to have something under there. If you don't want glitter, you can just paint your cup and then go right in with epoxy. You just make sure you have a shiny surface before you go in with your transparent vinyl. So I took my template and I cut it out twice. I cut it once on stencil vinyl and then once on the transparent pattern vinyl that we're going to use. And that's because I'm going to use different parts of the vinyl or of the pattern for different things. So on my pattern vinyl, I'm going to cut out this middle portion of the stencil and I'm going to set it aside and use it for something else. But the reason I cut the entire template out with this middle part in is so that I get the spacing correct. Now you could, if you wanted to, just take the top and the bottom wavy parts, ignore that middle section, just cut out the top and the bottom and then place them on your cup accordingly. That will work too, but I do have an idea for this middle little wavy line, so it won't go to waste. It'll just get used on a different tumbler. So I'm going to line up my vinyl here up against my handle kind of, and I'm going to take two little pieces of painter's tape and secure the top end and the bottom end to my cup, because remember when we cut that middle section out, they're going to be two separate pieces, so I want to make sure that they're aligned and correct. Tape each side down, and then I'm going to get rid of this middle part and we can apply the top and bottom waves to the cup separately. Now you can see here that when I'm applying this top wave, I did move it up just a little bit so that I would have a little bit of extra hanging over the top that I could cut off. That is totally a you decision. You can line up that top edge with the top edge of your cup and then you won't have any excess to cut off. That's totally fine. I just wanted the bottom wave to line up a little bit differently, so I went with a little bit of extra at the top. But again, you can just line that top edge of your vinyl with the top edge of your cup, and then you don't have anything to worry about. And I think because I did that, in hindsight, I don't think I would have, but I think because I did that, I didn't line everything up perfectly. And so when I cut around the handle and tried to meet my two seams up, my two ends of my vinyl up, this should meet up perfectly, and you'll see on the bottom it meets up a whole lot better. But because I kind of changed the alignment of the top wave, I had to go in and do some adjusting to make it look seamless still. So just keep that in mind. Don't make the same mistake I did. Just keep your top edge of your vinyl lined up with the top edge of your tumbler, and you won't have to go in and make those adjustments. So anyway, I did that. Now I'm going to cut off all of this excess from the top, and then I'll go in and apply the bottom wavy line just the exact same way, but lined up a whole lot better. So now that my pattern vinyl is on my tumbler, I'm going to take the same template that I cut out of my stencil vinyl, and I'm going to match up the top and bottom wavy sections with the stencil vinyl. Essentially, I'm using the stencil vinyl as tape to tape off these sections so that when I paint that middle section, it won't get onto my pattern vinyl. This is totally optional if you're confident in your painting abilities and you can paint this middle section without getting any on your pattern vinyl. You can just completely skip this step and go right in with your base paint. I am a messy painter, so I wanted to take this step to ensure that I had really clean lines. So once I had this on, I was ready to go in and base paint and glitter this middle wave section. Now, initially I went in with this lime green paint. It was way too bright. I don't know what I was thinking, but it definitely looked off when I removed the stencil vinyl. It was just too bright, so I let that dry. And once it was totally dry, I just decided to go over it again with a different color base paint. Same glitter, we're using Paradise from Peachy Olive Glitters, but this time I went in with Seafoam acrylic paint, which is much more muted, really matches the background of the pattern vinyl a whole lot better. So I took that, mixed it with some glitter glue. I'm gonna base paint right over that raw glitter and then go in with the glitter again. And in the end, I am so glad I did this. It looks so much better. It really flows like way better with the pattern vinyl. So if you ever make a mistake, like you use the wrong base color like me, you can just go right over it and fix it. No worries, all good. So once I was done glittering this middle section, I set this aside and let it dry for 2 hours, and then I was ready to tackle the bottom of the tumbler and the handle. For the handle and the bottom of the cup, we're going to be using Halos from Peachy Olive Glitters, and for the base paint, we're going to use Morning Mimosa. This is a Pop of Color paint. This came in their most recent Pop of Color paint subscription box, so this is exclusive to that box, but you can use any orange toned paint you have. I really like the tone of this one. I feel like it matches the oranges in the vinyl really well. So I'm going to tape off the bottom of my cup and tape off around the handle, and then just go in, and I'm going to use this paint as the adhesive for my glitter as well. So I'm going to go in with a really solid, good coat of this paint and then cover it with my glitter. I let that dry for another 2 hours, and then I went in and sealed each section individually using my 50-50 ratio of water and the Crystalac glitter glue. After that was dry, I went in with 2 more coats of epoxy, and I'm going to go in next with my little orange element sheet here. And these are printed on white ink and they have a clear background, so it's important that when you put these on, you have a shiny and smooth surface. You don't want to put these on a sanded base because you'll see those sanding dull marks under where the clear section is, if that makes sense. So make sure you have a shiny, smooth surface, and I'm just going to go in and cut these out individually and place them, as you can see, in this middle section where our glitter wavy line is. After all of those decals were placed in the middle, I took a white Posca paint pen. This is the 5M size, and I'm just going to go in and put a whole bunch of random little polka dots all around this design. I felt like it just needed a little something extra, and these polka dots are kind of fun. They just brighten the whole thing up a little bit. So I filled that up, let it dry about 45 minutes, and then I went in with another coat of epoxy. Now this coat is purely just to seal that middle section in. It does not need to be a thick coat. I think it was maybe about 10 milliliters. Once that coat was ready, we are going to go in and do all of our sanding. So I'm going to clean up the rim first with my craft knife, get rid of all of that epoxy, and then I'm going to go in with a 60 grit sanding block, sand down the top rim, the handle really well, and then that bottom glitter section as well. So once my cup is fully sanded, I'm going to wash it with dish soap and water, and then we are ready to add our vinyl striping to our middle wave section. The template does come with these wavy line outlines, and I do recommend using a stretchy vinyl. So here I'm just using Oracal 651 white vinyl, because if you're like me and you had to make adjustments to your wavy lines, this is really pliable and flexible, and you can just kind of work it around those lines as you need to. So I cut these out, and you can see here I'm just kind of working them around the waves that I created when I placed this vinyl down. You can use other types of vinyl like a textured or something like that, but using a stretchy, flexible, durable material like Oracal 651 vinyl is going to be a whole lot easier to work with. So I'm going to put these two stripes down in the middle of the tumbler where the glitter sections and the vinyl sections meet. So now the last step is to apply our final 2 coats of epoxy. So I'm going to show you how I apply epoxy to handled tumblers. Now typically I would do this on my turner, but for the purpose of this video I'm going to do it off my turner. So I mixed up about 10 milliliters of epoxy. This first coat over the vinyl is thinner, and then for my final coat I'll probably do between 15 and 20 milliliters. So what I'm doing here is coating in essentially the entire cup with the exception of the handle first, and then I'm going to take a little bit of epoxy and really focus it on the handle. You want to keep your coats very thin, and if you have to do more coats on your handle, that's better than doing less thicker coats, because you don't want the epoxy to glob up anywhere or, you know, be too thick in that section. So go really, really thin with your coats, and just make sure you don't have any globbing like where the handle attaches to the tumbler, if that makes sense. So once I've got the epoxy on there, I'm just going to go over the cup one more time, make sure everything is smooth, set it on my turner, and then I'll go in with my final coat. Once that's all done, we are all done. So here is the final result. I really love how this cup turned out. I love this template so much. This orange vinyl just makes me excited for the morning. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button down below, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and let me know what you thought of this video down below in the comments. I can't wait to see what you guys create using this template, so be sure to tag me in your photos at MadeByManiAndMal on Instagram, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Love you. Bye.